CKJ Crypto News, Crypto Pioneers. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in to today's show. Today I've pretty much uncovered that Ripple actually is backed by one of the largest institutions that any company could possibly be backed by, and that is the Federal Reserve. Ripple is backed by current Federal Reserve board members and backed by former Federal Reserve board members. Ripple has huge entities backing it. It already has its bit license, which bit licenses are regulated by the SEC. So I believe that Ripple is already regulated and mass adoption will be on the way soon. Ripple is one hell of an investment. I love Ripple. The Ripple community loves Ripple. Ripple is going to be unstoppable. Matter of fact, we're going to name this one Ripple backed by the Federal Reserve. And it doesn't get no huger than that, Crypto Pioneers, that's for sure. So anyway, you can follow me on Twitter, CKJ at CKJ Crypto News. I do got quite a few articles to go through to show you this, so we'll kind of skim through them as fast as possible. And then at the end, I have a huge shout out list to a lot of people that's been supporting CKJ Crypto News with the tweets, the likes, the retweets. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. It really means the world to me. The support has been overwhelming. So anyway, when I worked at a law office, basically the lawyer I used to work for, who's a genius, I will say, used to always say there's three sides to a story: your side, their side, and the truth. So basically, that's why I never take articles for face value. Here on CKJ Crypto News, we research. So let's show you how we research right now and get this show started. Alrighty. So anyway, like I said, I did do this video prior, but it was like 20 minutes long. I said, let me see if I can get this thing down. So basically, Ripple had an event, Swell, right across the street from Sibos, a yearly event hosted by Swift. Ripple set up shop directly across the street from them with their Swell event. Basically saying, Swift, Ripple's here. We're here to replace you. We're not playing. So let's get this started. Bernanke at Ripple's event, blockchain has obvious benefits in payments. So former Federal Reserve Chairman Ben Bernanke is bullish on blockchain. So pretty much speaking at the Ripple's Swell conference in Toronto today. Now I will say a few of these articles are old, but I'm just showing how Federal Reserve is backing Ripple from multiple directions. Speaking at Ripple's Swell conference in Toronto today, being held the same week in the same city as Sibos, the annual gathering hosted by Ripple's rival, Swift. Bernanke told a room full of several hundred attendees that he believes payments can be slow and expensive as designed using existing tools today. Bernanke, who has led the U.S. and central banking in 2008 when the financial crisis, outlined the complicated process it would take for a bank in Germany to send a payment to the bank in U.S. So Bernanke is a distinguished fellow in residence at Brooklyn Institute, called out Ripple by name, saying that he's read about companies' work and he thinks any effort in payments to reduce costs, improve accuracy, speed, and reliability, and bring the global economy closer together is a good thing. And actually that brought me down here to this one. Case point, earlier this month, Senior Vice President at the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston, Jim Cunha, said blockchain and other fintech startups would be pushing incumbent financial institutions and middlemen to be more innovative in their approach. So that's two Federal Reserve board members, one current board member and one former, and we still have some more Federal Reserve board members back in Ripple. So, and that actually brought me to him right here. Boston Fed VP, blockchain will wake up Swift and other middlemen. And I only kind of highlighted this so we can skip around. Don't forget, I did tweet all these articles if you want to read them. I highly recommend them all. They're a really good read. While there are nimble startups, said Cunha, pointing to Ripple, which has perhaps been the most aggressive in pursuit of Swift's market share. So that's basically right there. He's endorsing Ripple again. Well, that's the other Fed board member. Bernanke backs Ripple at blockchain conference. The tech is promising. 2 months ago, noted Fed Chief Bernanke, apparent flip-flop since leaving office, has agreed to be keynote speaker at a blockchain conference, which we're talking about the one we just discussed. And I thought this is really interesting too right here. Is, as a reminder, Ripple is, where'd it go? is agreed to speak. Bitcoin, as a reminder, Ripple is essentially, in other words, okay, here it is right here. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation has released a new open source software for the unbanked that utilizes technology developed by distributor ledger startup Ripple. So Bill and Melinda Gates actually uses Ripple technology. Sorry it took me so long to find that line. I'm not starting this video over again. I apologize about that. Bernanke lead to headline Ripple's Sibos killer conference. Distributed ledger startup Ripple is stepping up its attempt to disrupt Swift, the infrastructure provider that today connects over 11,000 banks worldwide. On the same day, in the same city as Swift's flagship event, Sibos, Ripple has announced it will host Swell, an event also aimed to bringing the world's financial leaders together to network and discuss trends and strategies on how to take down Swift, of course. But while the seminar attempts might fall short for some startups, what could set Ripple's event is apart is its stakeholder buy-in. Keynoting three-day conference in October is none other than former chairman of the U.S. Federal Reserve System, Ben Bernanke. So that's huge. Former Federal Reserve member speaks on Ripple's behalf. And the inventor of the World Wide Web, Tim Berners-Lee, also spoke on behalf of Ripple. So this is huge, crypto pioneers. Everybody's backing Ripple. And actually, guess who else was at this event? Ethereum founder, Vitalik Buterin. Hope I said that right. Now, he pretty much, in this article, he's saying that there was rumors of the Federal Reserve creating a Fed coin because the Federal Reserve started releasing statements. But he was like, nah, there's no way. But what I thought interesting about this one is Buterin spoke at the three-day event hosted by Ripple, the company behind the currency XRP, which also sells blockchain software to over 100 banks. And that's what I thought was really interesting right there, because Ripple actually has a product that they are marketing to banks. Ripple is actually creating revenue for itself. And that's why I believe that Ripple is so much farther than other cryptocurrencies as far as having a product for the people, for the banks that's ready to be adopted. Bit license architect Ben Lawski joins Ripple board, and this is the guy that gave him their bit license. And right after he did that, he said, "I'm out of here." And Lawski will help Ripple advance its payment platform as well as in-house digital asset XRP. So he approved them for their bit license. He left that job and joined Ripple. So that's a huge backing right there. Bit license, pretty much, it's going to say that Ripple got its bit license. We're going to kind of skip that a little bit. And it reminds me of the internet, and this article is really good. Silicon Valley catches Bitcoin fever. It reminds me of the internet protocols in the 90s. Mr. Breyer, who is also the director and retailer at Walmart. No, Mr. Breyer, Jim Breyer, is the earlier investor in Circle with a $9 million investment. Now remember that connection right there. And Chris Larson said that could make possible for some sort of disruption in finance that media and communication worlds face with the rise of the internet. While riding the Bitcoin wave, his company also created its own virtual currency, Ripples. An open digital currency platform made it possible for startups to create a wide range of financial applications, similar to the way companies such as Google broke into the media world by building on the internet's HTTP protocol. So pretty much they're saying how information has been moved around very freely, very fastly since the invention of the internet. But why haven't we done that digitally? Now, basically, if you've been following CKJ crypto news, we kind of spoke on the DCG group, the digital currency group, Barry Silbert, early investor in Ripple, early investor in Coinbase. But then I kind of did a video on who backs Barry Silbert, and that's when I ran into Glenn Hutchins. No, Glenn Hutchins currently sits on the Federal Reserve Board, and he is backing Ripple too, and that's right here. Basically, Hutchins sits on the board of the Federal Reserve Bank, where he is reelected to a Class B 3-year term ending in 2018. And that brought us to this article right here. Federal Reserve Task Force Ripple improves speed and transparency. And this article came out under Hutchins' regime. And this is what Hutchins has to say about Ripple. Bitcoin warning. Former NASDAQ chief says you can tell which cryptocurrency will fail. Now, basically, Hutchins sits on the board of the Federal Reserve. He sits on the board of AT&T. He's a former board member of the NASDAQ. Now he sits on the board of the DCG group, Digital Currency Group. And he had this to say. Mr. Hutchins is a former chairman of NASDAQ. Basically, Mr. Hutchins poured around $4 million into a series of early-stage investments in companies operating in cryptocurrencies. The investor added, I really think people are missing the point. They should be talking about companies. He says that where the fuck is that thing at? Okay, Bitcoin could be the wrong solution, and other tokens like Ethereum or Ripple could end up being the right answer. No, keep in mind that this guy sits on the board of the Federal Reserve and saying that Ripple can be the right answer. The biggest opportunity I've seen, because two most important things are business, information, and value. Now tell me this doesn't sound like Brad Garlinghouse. We can now move information around the world at the speed of light at no cost. Why can't we do that with the value in the future? So that's huge, crypto pioneers. And actually what I was saying earlier is BitLicense, who has applied, who has left New York. And this is exactly why I say there's always backdoor deals going on, and we like to read between the lines. And I love doing research because because this is a list right here of companies that applied for their bit license. And look who's on this list. Companies that applied: Coinbase, Coinsetter, Bittrex, ceased operations because they were denied. But if you notice on this list, Feloniax was denied. So they decided to pack up, and Circle has bought Feloniax, a cryptocurrency exchange, for around $400 million. Now keep in mind that Circle is backed by Jim Breyer, $9 million investment. Circle was the first one to be regulated to receive a bit license. Feloniax got denied, so they just packed up and they sold out to Circle. So pretty much, sometimes it is what you know, but it also is who you know. So crypto pioneers, I really hope y'all enjoyed this research. Basically, we're going to label this video, Ripple is backed by the Federal Reserve, and you cannot be backed by a more better institution than that. And don't forget, the CKJ coin will pop up right now. Smash that coin. Help CKJ reach #1. But I do have a huge shout out list to everybody that actually has been retweeting my videos. They've been retweeting and sharing the video about Sue from Esoteric Trading Solutions. So I kind of wanted to throw a quick little shout out list together from Twitter. I really do appreciate it, crypto pioneers. Matter of fact, I'm going to start saying this: teamwork makes the dream work. Because I truly do believe that, because here in this crypto community, it's like helping each other navigate through the wild, wild west of cryptos. It is an unregulated market, so we can help each other out. And that shout out list is Chucky Loco, G-Man, Donos Bravo, MZ420, Crypto Espy, Digital Nomad, Robert Lee, Angela Albertina, Walski, Eveline, Junkies, Central Out Delete, special shout out Central Out Delete, H2DA, Jacketo, McAfee, XRP Army, Kevin Ola, Terry Phillip, XRP Biz, Peter Pumpkin Eater, Josh Doty, Crypto Bond, Brad Kims. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I apologize for people that didn't make that list. There's so many more. And I do apologize for taking up people's time with the list. But I just really appreciate the help that the crypto community has given me. It means the world to me. Thank you so much, crypto pioneers. Have a nice day.